Is your thing plugged in?
Everything is plugged in. I have
Okay,
power.
good,
I got
good.
Wi-Fi. God
Yeah,
forbid.
the battery would die in 2 seconds.
I'm gonna like throw shit out the window if like.
1, 2, 3, 4.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 96 of the On the Runs podcast. We are back, refreshed from vacation. We just went on a long run. It was good to see you, E. Hamstersham, or should I say, 6-star Erika. What's up?
I mean, you can call me that, but I have not officially changed my Instagram handle yet.
You know what? I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Well, I was waiting on you because you have to show me how to do it with content. I want to make sure I capture it the right way.
Okay.
See?
So wait, are you committed?
Mhm.
Are you committed?
Fuck it. Why not? I don't even.
Yes. All right. Let's go.
I'm gonna have to
we'll have this
eventually
figured out
do,
soon. It'll probably take us
8-star, 8-star.
We'll figure it out soon. It'll probably take me a couple of months again, like everything does. So
Yeah.
don't fear.
rush.
You're safe for a little while longer. But yeah, we just got back, well, a couple hours ago from a 17-mile run. How are you feeling?
I feel fine because I did not run 17. I only had 10
That's right,
on my docket today. But we got to run with Jay, and she had slightly more than me. You had slightly more than her. So you guys did your own thing, and I was just there in the middle. So beautiful day for a run, though. It was more gorgeous than I could imagine.
It was great. We also did one of those random shout outs to Bex. I just ran up behind you. I was like, yo, what's up, Bex? How you doing? And you're like, congratulations. I love you.
I told you, I'm like, wow, we really should send her another one of those to congratulate her for her 6 stars in Tokyo. And you still threw me off guard because you were just right up behind me. And I was like, oh, this is happening now. Okay. So
that's how you got to do it.
Congratulations. Yeah.
I think a major congratulations to so many people who ran Tokyo yesterday or today. When was it technically?
It was last night. So last Saturday night, 7 p.m. our time, Eastern time, because Tokyo's 14 hours ahead. So I was following along. I stayed up pretty late just trying to track our friends, but we had 6 members of the pod fam out there. That is huge.
And some of them got to meet up. By the way, it is Sunday night, and we're going to try this whole recording the Tros on Sunday night so I can get a little more sleep on Monday nights. We're going to try this for a few weeks.
See how it goes. Yeah. But oh man. Yeah. Who do we have? We had Candace who met Jared. They were on the same flight together, and they
in our t-shirt
made
it to Tokyo.
Yes, they wound up meeting up. I think it looked to me like Shibuya Crossing, but don't quote me on that. We'll have to have Candace and Jared chime in. But then this was a whole saga. When Rachel was flying out, I was following along with her.
Spare no details.
I'm trying not to. But so I like to watch people's stories, and of course Bex is up there. And I see that she's flying out of Detroit, and I was like, hang on a second. So I asked Rachel, I'm like, what are the odds Bex is on your flight? And she goes, oh my God, I don't know. And come to find out, Bex was sitting like the row in front of her. Rachel had like the front of, I forget, like Comfort Plus or something. There was like a partition, and then Bex was in the row right in front of that. So she's like, I'm going to go do some recon. And she like got up and took a walk. She goes, that's totally her. So I was like, oh my God, you're on the same flight as Bex. How cool. And I guess they did wind up talking for a minute once the flight landed. And she was like, hey, I just wanted to say hi. And that, like, I know Erika too, and I hope she drops your name too. But how cool is that? Just people meeting all over the place.
She didn't have to drop my name; could just drop the pod. Be like, I loved your episode on the On the Runs podcast.
Oh, that's true. Well, they both have that in common. So
yes, that's what I would have said. I would have gone. By the way, we have something in common, Bex. I would have said we've been on the same podcast.
Yeah, very cool. But so many awesome people
So you were like creeper mode on Instagram.
Yes, I'm gonna fully admit to that. I like couldn't help it. I was like, oh my god, is this like
You were like
happening? I
telling
want to
Rachel
be
she's
there.
wearing a
Like,
blue sweatshirt. Her boyfriend's wearing a tan one. He has white khakis and he's wearing UFO sandals, and she has on a pair of
not quite that bad, but she was asking me like, what's she wearing? And I was like, this is what I gathered from her story. So sorry to be a total creep, but
You're sending screenshot pictures of her.
I was so excited to like make the connection. I sent Bex a DM. I was like, hey, my friend might be on your plane. She has pink hair. So I was trying to get her to connect too.
Wait, have you ever sent Bex a DM before?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. So you're not the only
Yes.
one. All right.
So
I mean, I'm not the only one.
no, you're not. But I just don't do it super often. But I don't want to abuse the privilege. Not that I have
Same.
any privilege, but still.
Same. It's like I have some
Mhm.
people's phone
Yep.
numbers, but I don't abuse that. I just stick with Instagram
like a
unless
very
it's something like
special
trying to
certain
connect in
someone.
person. Yeah. So Jared and Candace, we covered. They had a great day.
Yep.
Jared's doing Virginia Beach Marathon in like 11 days, I saw. Then Rachel.
He's just a machine. Good for him.
Then we got Rachel and Bex. So Bex absolutely crushed it. What was it, like
52?
252?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
And Rachel, obviously, congratulations, got your 6-star. We also got Amanda.
Yep.
Do you know if it was
Yep.
Amanda's 6-star?
No, I don't think it's her 6-star. I don't know which one she's missing though. But she's got quite a few. I think she might need London or Berlin, maybe. Don't quote me on that.
Then we have a local girl named Megan. We've met her a few times at like the Gallup or Total Image Run or
nice.
something. Megan
Yep.
Burslow. I'm pronouncing that. And then
Breslow?
yeah, sure. Breslow works. Megan Breslow. Great job. But
Yeah.
then we got one other person, and this stands out to me. Letty, who was just
Absolutely.
on the podcast last episode, number 95. She actually got to go and interview the pros and ask them questions. How cool. And like, I'm watching the story. I'm like, mind blown. That's so cool.
I have no idea how she got that press pass, but I'm so jealous. She got to talk to the GOAT, Eliud Kipchoge. And I even believe she talked to the winner of the marathon, Benson Kipruto, which is super, super cool. Like, Letty, keep doing it. Like, that's fantastic. And she had a great race too, I think. Like, super, super proud of the pod fam, man.
The other one I didn't really see on Instagram or anything. She maybe not that active, but Pam was supposed to be there. So I wonder how she did, if she made it. She was dealing with an injury. So
I do have some insight on that. I saw a Facebook post from Pam. She did not go to Tokyo because she's trying to rehab herself.
Insider information.
Facebook. But she is trying to rehab and get stronger because Boston is her focus. So
all right.
There will
all
be
right,
another
cool.
Tokyo for Pam.
Well, you sent me a list of everyone we think was in Tokyo. So I hope we covered everyone. Sorry if we missed anybody. But then you put the list of the Boston Marathon runners. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
12 seconds later.
18, 19, 20, 22 people right now on that list. And I think there's still people missing.
Yes, I am convinced I am definitely missing people. And there's people I think like might be running it, but might not be running it. And this list is going to be out of control.
We're going to be busy.
So everybody, if you're listening and you're running, send a message. We'll put you on the list. We'll make sure we're looking out for you. Because yeah, Boston's going to be awesome this year. So cool.
And speaking of Boston, someone who ran it last year is our guest this year, and he's a member of the Boston Bulldogs. I say, let's get to our awesome guest. His name is Dan, but he goes by something else. He is the Bearded Runner.
He is so cool. He's got so much going on. He's tackling Chicago this year. He's just running his heart out. So
I do want to wait a second. Stick around after, because we teased it last week. We are going to do March Madness. And we have worked so hard on this bracket. We've had some outsider input, and this is going to be a lot of fun. We'll get to that on the outro, though, because we need to get to Dan, the Bearded Runner.
without further ado, we hope you enjoy the Bearded Runner on the On the Runs podcast.
Our next guest on the pod is an adopted New Englander from the dirty Jersey. He's a Boston Bulldog. He's new to the running scene, and he can easily be seen running down the street sporting a beard that rivals ZZ Top. He's working on the majors. He might have a crush on Forrest Gump, and we're wicked excited to have the bearded runner on the podcast. Dan Lyszczak, welcome to the On the Runs podcast. Finally!
Woo! Thank you for pronouncing my last name correctly.
I am perfect with pronunciations. If Erika sucks at them, I am great. But I want to say...
Lyszczak.
But we did it. We're finally here. It's an hour and 16 minutes later from when we tried to record. Erika, welcome finally to the podcast. How are you?
Come on, I already ran my marathon and you're just showing up.
I'm slightly less angry now, but this Riverside thing was really grating on my nerves. So happy to be here. So sorry to keep you waiting, guys. I mean, I'm very sorry about that, but ready to get into this. How about that? You guys ready?
Well, Dan and I tried for like 30 minutes to do this without you. It was a disaster, just like that train ride where I had food all over my lap. I'm like looking at the notes, trying to roll off what Dan's saying, and then reading your text message to me about why it won't work. And I'm just like, I can't do this by myself. I need my girl with me, Erika. So listen, I can't do this without you. You're the best. But we have this amazing guest on the pod who has been just in the trenches with us for the past hour and 15 minutes going through this hell.
You are a trooper, my friend, because
fun.
this is just like the shittiest shit show.
Yeah. But Dan, what's up, buddy? Thanks for coming on. I mean, this is so cool. We've been chatting for months now, you and I, and it's about time we finally have you here on the pod.
Oh, not much. Just did my weekly Monday night run with the Bulldogs in Quincy. So did a nice quick 2.5 miles and scurried on back to the house. And here we are 2 hours later because that stupid app.
I feel bad. You could have gotten a couple more miles in if it wasn't for this
Dan,
this crap.
You got to tell her what you told me about downloading an app for the first time or the updates.
Yeah, don't be the first person to do that shit. I wait till like 3-4 rollouts and then I go like, thanks guys, because of you, I have the perfect version.
Well, I'm glad I could help.
So you're that role model.
Yeah, glad I could help find those bugs. But Riverside, you got some work to do. Mm-hmm.
It's okay. I left them a thumbs down saying I couldn't see Erika, so they were going to get the message pretty well.
Yeah.
I also sent an email. I wouldn't say it's scathing, but I was like, you guys, this isn't working. So
I thought you were going to call them too.
I'm gonna
I
just
almost did, but I feel like they're in Israel.
They're both. They're both. Yeah.
They're almost.
Yeah,
up.
they're about to wake up.
Getting there.
I'm going to pump their tires, Riverside. I think you're awesome. You've made this podcast amazing this past year. So thank you. 2 put downs there. I'm going to put you up.
I do love them normally, but this last rollout has not been kind to my phone. So.
And thanks to Toshiba for saving the day.
Yeah, Erika is using a dinosaur for a computer right now. Tell us about
what year?
Like the last hour, Erika's like, my computer's almost done updating, and then another update.
This is what happened to Nicole. I'm pretty sure the first time she did it, where she's like had to. Well, my computer is just old anyways, but then she had to update Chrome, and then Chrome took forever to update, and I'm just like, this is not going my way.
Is this your computer from Plymouth State?
This isn't even my computer. I don't have a computer anymore. This is Brandon's old one. So
from Plymouth State.
I mean, post Plymouth State, but it's probably from like 2012.
Oh my God! Wow.
I'm telling you, it might be time to get something else.
Well, let's get to it just in case anything else happens here with this dinosaur of a computer of yours.
Hey, so far so good.
All I want to say is the guys here got our shit together. We have nice computers, good operating systems.
Yeah.
We both have really nice beards right now, as you can tell. Mine's coming in. We're going to talk about shaving our beards later for donations. I'll shave mine if you shave yours.
Oh man, I don't know. That's gonna be a tough one.
But Dan,
what would it take to get you to shave your beard? I feel like you've been. How long have you been growing this out for?
I think it's gonna be exactly 2 years. I don't know the exact date, but it's right around 2 years. Yeah,
that's like really good growth. Like that's longer than my hair on my head.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know where it starts. Oh, there it is. It's all the way here. It was probably here last year. So that's quite a few inches. Yeah.
So tell me
you
about
can
it.
see the Boston Bulldogs.
Do you have to condition? Do you moisturize? Like,
I throw on a little extra bit of shampoo and then I just go all the way down, and then I use conditioner as well. So I actually
Do you comb it?
Very
and then
nice.
I blow it out because then it smells like wet dog. That's why it's so perfectly straight, because I actually blow it out, and it takes about 5 minutes.
Okay.
But you have to actually cut it or trim it because you get split ends. So now I know what you ladies experience with split ends. They are painful. But then I get little curls here, so I just take them out, snip it, and that's it. But
wait a second.
No, it's
painful?
what?
It's
split ends.
It's painful?
Oh yeah, when you get that comb through, it hurts. It rips. It is.
I've done that. Yeah, he's not lying.
Well, listen, maybe you guys should just be more like me, nice and smooth up here.
Well, I'm getting there. So once this goes, I'm going to just get rid of all this, and it'll just be this.
Dan, I bet it would be a great look with that beard if you shaved your head like mine. It'd be a great look.
I'm going to get after this. I'm going to get on Instagram and go to those little things, those AIs or whatever,
those
and just see what I
filters
look
that
like
will show what you look like with a shaved head.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Fancy.
Interesting.
Well, Dan, welcome to the pod. Finally, you're from the Dirty Jers. Let's get to know you a little bit. Let's find out where in New Jersey. What did you do? What was Dan like growing up? Were you a runner? Have you been a runner your whole life? I know the answer to that because we tried to do this already.
Tell me all over. I need to hear this. This is new for me.
So you know how they say Jersey is the armpit of the United States? I literally grew up in the armpit of the United States, right where it curves. That was where I lived.
Yeah.
Nice.
I grew up I was born in Elizabeth, raised in Rahway my whole life. My parents came here from Poland right off the boat, so they're from I'm first generation American. I didn't know a lick of English until I was 5 years old in kindergarten.
We talked about this for a while on the pre-recording. You got to hear this story, Erika. He didn't know how to speak English forever.
Do tell.
Yeah, so we still speak Polish. Yeah, we still speak Polish in the household whenever I'm down in Jersey visiting my parents. But no, that's all all we spoke. I got to kindergarten. I had an accent like I just came right off the boat. Made fun of it a little bit, but whatever. And then my adopted grandmother, as I call her, Babchi, she took my parents in because they didn't really know anybody, and that was her first friend, their first friends, and she actually taught me how to speak the language I speak today, and then Polish was just my second language. So because of her, I now can speak to you in this language.
All right, I would like you to tell us something in Polish, but I'm going to tell you what I want you to say. I want you to tell Erika to get a new computer for the podcast in Polish, and you can throw in some dirty words in there if you want. She'll like that.
I'll never know.
Proszę, kup nowy komputer. No kup.
Yes, okay? No, kup computer. Go get a new computer.
Well, since you put it that way, I might as well.
Oh,
I never would have guessed. You don't have an accent whatsoever. So you had me fooled.
I guess because speaking Polish, then English, then Jersey accent, then New England accent, it's everywhere. I still say water. I can't say water.
How do you say bagel?
Correctly. Bagel.
How you say that right?
Coffee?
Coffee. Yeah, I have the coffee. Yeah, coffee and water.
But you,
at least it's not water.
But you live in Boston now. Have you picked up a Boston accent living down just south of the city, right?
If I get a little mad when I'm driving, it comes out. Like it actually does come out. I don't know where from, but yeah, it does.
All right, give me your best angry Boston accent, but angry at Erika and her computer.
Driving a car. I just cut you off. Computer.
Get the fucking car out the way. What the fuck, dude? Come on,
fucking
kid.
Get a new car, guy. Get a new car, kid.
My computer's dead.
The kid part, I always use the word kid now. I work with this one guy, and he always say kid. I'm like, what the fuck does this guy want now? And it'd just be kid. Come over here, kid. I'm like, oh my God. My name is Dan. Jesus Christ.
I love it. Every time I think of the Boston accent, though, I think of the Sam Adams commercial with your cousin from Boston.
You know what the one I saw recently was the Smart Park? He's got Smart Park.
Oh, that's a great cast of what is it?
You can park his car anywhere, even in Harvard Yard.
Big Poppy, John Krasinski, Rachel Dratch. Oh, love it.
He's got Smart Park.
Got Smart Park.
You need a new car too. You need to buy a new car and a new computer.
I will never financially recover from this, you guys.
And it comes in 3, so whatever the third one's going to be, it's going to be big.
Oh, don't
boy.
tell me
Oh
that.
boy. No, don't go there. Let's save this. Dan grew up playing sports, right? You played sports. What sport did you play?
Soccer.
So naturally, you're a runner, right?
No, I was kind of that fat, pudgy kid, so I was always a defender. So not really.
See,
I just stayed in my zone.
I was going to ask what position you played because I did. I was a midfielder, so that's all I did was just run back and forth. I had the.
I got a little faster, not skinnier, just faster. And I did play midfielder for 1 season, and then they threw me into the goalie role, which I actually did amazing. I don't know. I think it was we were like 14-1-0, so I led the team to first place. So that was like my big success, and then went back to defender. But yeah, I was always a defender all the time.
I was afraid of the ball. It's coming right at me. I'm like, no.
Oh no, I went after them. I would slide tackle the hell out of people. I had no care. No.
Dan, let me ask you this question, because we've had some people on before and they talked about how, they didn't like running growing up, and maybe they played sports like soccer or baseball or something, right? And running was like punishment. Did you ever feel that way? Like if you guys weren't having a good soccer practice, they would make you run laps around the field, and that was like, oh, we did bad, we have to run?
Fucking suicides. Oh my God. I think that's probably why, suicides. And I did that in baseball when I had my little stint of, I want to play baseball, suicides. And do it uphill and then back down and do it up. It's like, fuck. No.
That's miserable.
But yeah, I never enjoyed running, really. I tried out for track, and I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this shit. This is stupid. Why am I going to do this? Why am I going to run?
I don't blame
I'm all
you.
set.
That it just sucks that a lot of people have that experience with running at first. Like it shouldn't be a punishment. Like you should make it fun, but nope. You need coaches who are gonna make it fun for you.
So I have this advantage of already recording with Dan before we finally got you back and knowing a few things. Dan did one of those races. One of his first ever races he did was one of those races that you grew up loving, Erika. One of those like weird obstacle races or just weird, colorful races. And he did.
Those are so fun.
You did a color run as your first 5K. Were you still in New Jersey at the time?
No, I was living on the South Shore here. So I was a New Englander. I'm looking at the post right now. That was June 12th, 2017 was my first ever real 5K. I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. It was probably the hottest day of the summer, 90 degrees. It was a 9 o'clock start, but the color truck got pushed back because it was stuck or broke down. So they pushed it to 10.
Oh no!
Not even hotter.
Before we even made it to the start line, they're like, "Oh my God, she just fell." I'm like, "Oh no, she passed out. She didn't just fall. She passed out."
Is this someone you knew or just a random girl?
Just a random girl.
That does not bode well for that race. Oh no.
And again, I didn't know anything about hydration. I just was like, yeah, just go run because somebody told you to. And this is my friend Karen. And because of Karen, I got the running bug somehow, and it just stayed with me. But I finished. I can't find the times because the company probably doesn't exist.
We're saying it's probably not up there because I feel like the color run lasted 1 year. Maybe
I did one. When did I do it?
You did it at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, right?
No, I did it. It was like Amesbury, like the ski.
Yeah, the tubing park.
It was a terrible experience for that too because they had like to shuttle you out of there, and like it took 2 hours for like a shuttle to leave the place. So I don't think I'd do it again.
What was the point of the color run? Like you're just running, and then you run through like a paint gun spraying colorful paint on you or something.
It's like,
I think they like blast the paint on you at the end or something. Just some powdery shit that's probably not good for you.
They're probably going to get like sued in 10 years. You'll see those commercials. Did you run in the color run? Are you having a hard time breathing? Call Lyszczak and Knute in law firm.
But you got some cool ass pictures out of it. Yep.
Yeah.
You got some cool
Look at
ass
that.
pictures.
Look at Dan without a beard.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Look at you.
That was fat pudgy Dan running a 5K.
I don't think you look
knowing
pudgy.
what he's doing.
I just want to say I like the name I came up with, the Lyszczak and Knute and Associates.
That'd be perfect. Yeah. We can have our own show, like Suits. That'll be a perfect show.
Beautiful. Erika couldn't be on it because her stuff would be outdated.
I was going to say, is my last name too easy to pronounce?
It is, and it's
Maybe.
not. Like it. You would think it is, and it is, but some people might like overcomplicate it. I would overcomplicate it if I didn't know you. I'd be like, is it really Hamill? I don't know.
How do you pronounce it?
Hamill.
Well, hold
Hamill.
on.
Hamill.
Hamill? Oh,
Hamill.
yeah. I know a Ham. Yeah, Hamill. That's easy.
Ham.
Yeah.
People
She's
are like,
just Ham.
any relation to Mark? And I was like, I wish, but also not. how you
yeah,
spell
I
it.
never thought of that.
Dorothy. There's a lot of famous Hamills, but
Maybe
sadly,
you are,
I'm
and you
not
just don't know
related
it. You
to
got to
any.
do that like swab.
No, they're
the-
spelled differently.
Oh, are they really? I don't know. See,
Yeah.
that's I don't even know. Dan, are you into like Star Wars or movies or things like that, or like series? Are you a Breaking Bad or like what The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings? Or you in? I feel like you would be because of the beard. You
I never got into Star
Okay.
Wars. I will
You're
watch it.
stereotyping
The Lord of the
it,
Rings,
man.
not so much.
Well, I was gonna say the
Breaking
beard.
Bad, I did get into. That was
All
like,
right.
yeah, I binge watched
I
the
was
hell out of
thinking
that.
the beard would actually be more. You'd be Sons of Anarchy.
You know, I think I watched like 3 episodes and that was
Yeah,
it.
I watched one episode, and it was the final episode.
Oh.
What?
Yeah. No, I was dating a
You
girl.
do it backwards.
I was
Oh,
dating
I'm
a
like,
girl,
that's
and the last
backwards.
episode's out, and she goes, "You need to see this." And I'm like, "It's the final episode of the entire thing. Like, I'm never going to go back and watch this because I know, spoiler alert, he kills himself riding his motorcycle into an 18-wheeler when all the cops are chasing him. He takes his hands off the motorcycle like this.
Oh, so he just does that. Yeah. Now, I did watch Game of Thrones. So the last episode was coming up and I had to watch every single episode. So I like made a fake email address every week so I can do HBO. And then I binged it all week long or 2 weeks long. And I finished the second to last episode a minute before it aired live. I was like, perfect timing. Boom. And then Game of Thrones came on. I watched the last episode with everyone. I was like, I just watched probably hundreds of hours.
I just want to say that's kind of a genius move. Fake emails. Just I'm going to make another Yahoo, another Gmail, and just keep getting free subscriptions until I finish.
Well, I used my work email, then I used one email. Then I was like, yeah, I'll make another email. And it was like 2 weeks long. I'm like, okay, perfect. And I think I calculated how many emails I needed.
I've gotten a ton of free like Apple TV things, like 3 months for free, but I've done it like a free trial 3 or 4 times, and they're like, "You've reached your maximum." I'm like, "No, my shows are on it." Got to use that hack.
Apple TV has a couple good shows.
Which ones do you like?
Oh, why can't I think of it? Why
Ted
am I
Lasso?
blanking
What
on
I was going to say,
Mythic
what's
Quest?
the one everybody loves
Ted
that I've never
Lasso.
seen? It's Ted Lasso.
Yeah, Ted Lasso.
Shrinking is also
Best
very
ever.
good. That's a great show.
I have this thing against Apple, man. I haven't like Apple did a few things back in the beginning that kind of just irked me. So I still have the iPod 2.0 and it still kind of works, but they had a battery issue on the first one and they like screwed everyone and they're like, "Oh, we'll give you a new battery for the same price of a new iPod." And then when the iPhone first came out, I had Verizon, and it's like, no, only if you have AT&T. And I was like, screw you. I'm never going to get one of your phones because I don't have AT&T. And now you can have any platform, AT&T, Verizon,
They
whatever.
smartened up on that. That was a real shitty marketing.
That pissed me off that you couldn't get one.
So I went BlackBerry, and that lasted long. You remember BlackBerry? Do you remember the Razr phone? Okay, so everyone now says
those were
Razr.
cool. The Motorola's,
Apple, but here's the thing:
Yes.
Apple people say if you have an Android, you don't make enough money to buy an Apple, which is not true because half the Androids are more than an iPhone. But I saw a meme that said if you didn't have a Razr, you were like low class. You didn't make enough money. Like if you had a Razr, you made good money. Apparently.
I always wanted one of those sidekicks. Like I'm rewatching Gossip Girl again from like 2006, and they all have like these little sidekicks. I'm like, those were the coolest back then.
That's when texting was a big thing. Like you only have like 500 per month, and you
blow them all in like like a night.
Dan, you moved to Boston and you did a color run, but you're also a new runner like in the past year and a half. So from 2017 to 2022, there's some time there. What happened within those years? You said you got the bug, but what like got you really into it this past year and a half now?
So at my current company, I was just talking to the COO, and somehow they brought up like a paid forward committee and something. And I was like, oh, maybe I wanted to run the marathon, the Boston Marathon. And somehow that translated to, oh, Dan's going to run the marathon. I'm like, I'm going to run the marathon. Because
And at this point, you've only done a color run.
I think I've done a few other small ones, like 5Ks after, but it's just been like a one-off. It wasn't like I'm gonna keep doing this shit for.
So you just jumped right in, like you skipped over the 10K, the half marathon.
Yeah.
And went, bam,
He even
marathon.
skipped your local marathon. He went right for the Worlds.
Yeah. No, I never. I've only done one 10K in my life, and that was this past year, and that was the BAA 10K. I've never done a 10K prior to that. And then I was like, I kind of have to figure this out because I already talked about it, so I'm going to have to do it.
What do you know about the Boston Marathon? Do you even know it's on Patriots Day? Because as we spoke earlier, you're from New Jersey. You didn't grow up like watching the Boston Marathon every year like Erika and I knew about it being from New England and just outside of Boston.
So I got to know of it when I moved here. Like I knew what Patriots Day was, and I worked at the Norwood Airport, and we always would get the planes that flew in that would relay the information to the news center station. So whatever you would see on the TV, these planes would be flying at 5,000 feet with this huge antenna that beams the information over. So those motorcades that are riding, they're hitting the planes, and then the planes are shooting the information to the studio. So I knew what the marathon was because of that, because they would fly in a week or two prior, and they would do their path, so they would know what the route would be. We would fuel the airplanes and helicopters up, see the military helicopters, and be like, oh, that's the Boston Marathon. So it was a big deal. And then, of course, the bombing. I was at the UMass Boston, so I knew about that. And I think from the bombing, I think it just said, I need to do this. This is like a bucket list item. But it only took 10 years, and I actually ran, the marathon on the 10th anniversary. So it's kind of like nice how that all kind of fell into place, and I ran it on the 10th anniversary. So
wow.
Yeah.
So you were there just last year. I wish we would have known.
So you tell your CEO, I want to run the Boston Marathon. And he kind of starts this, it's not even a rumor, but it's like Dan's going to do the marathon. You're learning the process. Okay, maybe I got to join a charity and raise money, or maybe I could run wicked fast and get a qualifying time. What was the process you went through to get in the marathon?
So I was just doing me, working out, going to Orange Theory, going to the gym. And then I was talking about the marathon at Orange Theory in Quincy. And the girl at the front desk was like, oh, there's a group that runs in Quincy every Monday night. And I think they might be a charity that runs the marathon. I'm like, okay. So she says the Boston Bulldogs. I'm like, sweet. So that day I went home and I just logged on, read what the Bulldogs were, and I immediately was touched by their message. I actually cried. It got chills down my spine, and I felt gravitated that I actually belong there, and what they stand for, and sobriety, and showing up, self-leadership, being transparent with yourself, being there for those who have suffered indirectly or directly with alcohol and substance abuse. And I loved it all. It just the one thing that I truly felt in my heart that I belonged with them. So it took me a few weeks to muster up the energy to actually reach out and talk to some people and say, hey, how do I do this? And then I showed up on Monday, September 12th. There's just people smiling, hugs, high fives, whatever, no judgment-free zone. It's just a great time. And then we just started running. I started talking about, hey, I want to run the marathon. And they're like, you'd be perfect. Your energy is amazing. I would love to see you run, and you're definitely going to run it. And it was actually that same week they were giving out applications to run for them for the 2023 marathon. And I filled it out. And then 2 weeks later, on September 30th, I was driving down the Cape. Coach Mike calls and said, I got some great news for you. You're going to be one of 15 Bulldogs running the marathon. So I cried, chills down my spine.
Yep.
And I was like, holy shit, I'm actually doing this. So I literally just talked about this months ago, and I just found my way of doing it.
That's amazing. Was this a fundraising bib, or did you just get to run it and just enjoy it?
It's a fundraiser bib, yeah. So every Bulldog has to fundraise $10,000.
That's not a lot.
But no, not at all. It's just another part-time job.
It really
We'll get into that. It is.
Oh, yeah.
But it's fun. You know what? You may think it's a lot, but if you do it right and, you're true about it, you're living that message, it's easy. actually. So, but yeah, and then October 2nd, 2022, I was like, fuck it. I'm choosing sobriety. This is it, because this is your new chapter, your new journey. This is your calling, is the running. And that's what's going to make the new Dan.
And
so here I am.
Something we talked about when Erika was MIA for an hour was just, Dan, you didn't have a drinking problem. You just realized, I feel great when I don't drink, and I want to always feel great, right?
It just wasn't serving you anymore. Like
it wasn't. I mean, I was, I was going out. No, just going out, because like, what do you do when you go out? You drink. You go out on a date, you drink, and then you wake up and you feel like shit, and then you go and be like, I'm going to go and drink again. It's like, no, it's just not. So I call it was just an unhealthy relationship, because alcohol is just, to me, shit. So I'd rather wake up and go run 15 miles in 10-degree weather with a bunch of friends, have a good time and laugh my ass off, than be hungover for the next 2 days, because it's a toxin. So it just feels amazing. So I know I had to change.
Dan, I'm going to get real personal with you here.
Uh-oh.
How old are you?
33.
Yeah, that's about when it happens. Yep.
Life literally is like, there's a switch.
Yeah, I would say 32, 33 is when it happens. And you're like, yeah. I used to be able to like do this all the time. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Erika still just pounds beers all the time, and she wakes up no problem.
No.
Erika and I went out a month ago, right? It was a Wednesday. I had an early hockey game, and everyone was out at what was the place in Manchester? One of the bars, right?
Oh, we were at Bonfire for the so there was like a Christmas event.
Something about us, or especially me, is I maybe drink once a month socially with friends at something like that. We went out, we closed out the place. I think we had 3 or 4. And the next day I was like, oh, why do I do this to myself? But
I was more responsible, because I'm like, I gotta drive. I don't fuck with that.
I had a good time with like 4 blueberry beers.
Yeah.
It was great. And then
4 blueberry.
The blueberry ones, I loved it.
That's like all you drink, though.
Yeah. It's really good, though.
Like,
it's
I'm
wicked
have
good.
A shitty Bud Light.
I love my microbrews.
You drink Bud Lights?
Yeah.
No,
that's what I had that night. I was like, I'm just gonna have a Bud Light.
No, I really like the Sea Dog blueberry, or
that.
anything blueberry is what I'm into now. It's the only thing I drink.
Wachusett's blueberry is good. That's a good one. But I love like microbrews, like Heady Topper, all that good stuff, heavy IPAs. That was just my thing. And there was a time where my body was like, ew, this is disgusting. Like, it literally, I shifted from like heavy IPAs to like, I'm going to have, those the 5% ones, and then it went to vodka sodas. I'm like, okay, this is just,
wrong direction.
I'm not going to keep changing. I'm just going to, you know what?
Personally, I don't get what's up with IPAs. I don't think they're good. I think they're kind of gross. I don't like them. They don't taste good. They don't go down easy. The thing is that song by, was it Van Zant? If it goes down easy, it makes you feel good. Blueberry. Everything else, I'm not even a hard liquor guy. Erika knows this. The only time I tried hard liquor in the past 8 years was at Shauna's wedding, and we had Pink Whitney.
Pink Whitney, which is like a pink lemonade flavored. But good for you, man. That step in the right direction.
So you found out you were going to get to run the marathon on your way to a wedding, right? So you were like, this is my last hurrah.
Oh, that was at the Cape.
Yeah, I was at the Cape. It was a good friend of mine. They were having their wedding down there, and
And you were like, this is going to be my last hurrah with alcohol, and then I'm done.
Yeah. It was just a light switch.
And it was that easy for you to flip the switch and just say, I'm good. I'm done. I got this. And so far, it's been 1.5 years, right?
Yeah. 15 months, 16 months. Yeah. And it was just a light switch. That was it.
Now,
I don't even look back as a regret. Like, there are things you look back in your life that you regret. I'm like, nah, this is not in that category.
You're taking all the positives out of it. You feel great. You feel better. You got more energy. You sleep better at night. The Bulldogs, are many of the Bulldogs in the same? I don't know much about the Bulldogs. So are many of them like non-drinkers as well? So you got people to hang out socially who aren't drinking, so there's no peer pressure to drink. Like, that's what's hard for me is like, we went to New York City, right? And then I'm like, just recently, Erika, and I had a beer because it's like, I'm going to have a beer and be social. I'm not having a lot, but like, that's a hard thing socially. Maybe if you're not drinking with people. So the Bulldogs, like, in the same boat as you, or do you hang out? Are you still able to go to a bar, hang out with friends, and not drink? What's your social life like now that you're not a non-drinker?
Well, since I was training for the whole year of 2023, I really didn't go out much. But when I did, it didn't affect me. I just somehow throughout this journey, I just learned to just not let it get to me. Like if somebody asked me, I'm like, yeah, I'm just not drinking anymore. It doesn't do me any good. It was a shitty relationship when I was, and it's no longer an issue.
Cool.
Like I don't care.
And people are really cool about that typically these days.
Yeah.
I think.
I think the stigma's going away about, oh, if you don't drink, you're not cool. And it's like, I think that's the past.
Yeah.
But like, I'll have soda water, Red Bull, and a little thing of lime. So that's kind of my go-to. But no, it doesn't affect me. I just go out and just leave at 10 and go sleep and have a good night.
Dude, kudos to you. And I want to say, like, I've talked to Erika about it too. I'm like, I don't know. I don't really want to always drink. And my buddy Jay, I remember he dated a girl who was an alcoholic. She was like 5 years sober at the time. So when I lived with him, we always had a bunch of beer in the fridge and we would always be drinking. We're in our 20s. We're CrossFitting. We're feeling great. We're going out. We're having good times. And we're drinking a ton of beer at Patriots games, Bruins games, whatever. He basically said no to alcohol when he met this girl, because he didn't want to have alcohol around her as they're dating. And even years later, they're no longer dating. He's like, haven't had a drop of alcohol since. He never had a drinking problem. He just said, it's the best thing I ever did was stop drinking alcohol. And I'm not telling everyone who's listening to this podcast, like, you should stop drinking alcohol. Do what pleases you. But I know a lot of the people who said they stopped, how amazing they feel and how much better of like sleep they're getting and energy levels and just day to day running extra miles. And let's be honest, Jay has a solid like 6-pack because of it. So
let me just tell you
we're
another.
Both hiding it. We're protecting
Dan and I are protecting our 6-pack.
Oh, gotcha. Well, I have to say
it's my winter coat.
Another perk of not drinking, because I'm doing the dry January thing, because I'm just like, I could take it or leave it, but I have been saving so much money, and the calories I'm not drinking is awesome. I mean, I'm eating those calories, but I'm not
all
drinking
my money
them,
goes to gels.
I know,
Yeah,
right? Gotta get that real fuel.
You won't save money, you'll just spend it somewhere else.
But like at the grocery store, like usually I'll buy like a 12-pack of Coronas or something, like some seltzers, and I'm like, wow, that's like $40 I didn't just spend at the grocery store. It's gonna recycle into something else. But
so, Dan, we're going to go back to the show notes here to reel us in. You are now in the Boston Marathon. You're no longer going to drink again. All this guy's ever run before is a 5K, maybe a couple random 5Ks.
That takes some balls to just go right for it.
I did full fucking send. That was it.
So what was the winter like? Like, you just started to run too at the time. So what was winter running like, training? Did you have a plan? Did you have a coach? Were the Bulldogs like training you and telling you what to do? How was like trying to learn speed work and then rest day and slow day and all those things?
Did you have a goal for it? What was your goal for the Boston Marathon?
Besides finish?
Well, I mean, that could be a goal.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was sub 4, and then like a secret, I call it a secret goal. Like if it happens, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It was a sub 3:45. That was it.
Excellent.
So I lucked out with the Bulldogs. There's 15 of us last year, and there's 15 this year. We have our own coach who runs with the Bulldogs, Paul Davies. He's this kick-ass dude, knows his shit. And I mean, he gave us a wealth of information, like how carbs work, how it breaks down, how to store it, how to prepare properly, how to stretch, how to do SAMs, how to do all this stuff. And he was a huge part to, the success of running a cramp-free, injury-free marathon and training season. And plus a majority of us, I think there's only 2 people that were in like down south and then Washington, but we met every week at the Chestnut Hill Res, and there was a couple times where we met down in Plymouth because about a few of them came from there. but every week we literally ran the course. So that was a huge, huge success. I was running the hills every single fucking week.
There you go. No
I
better
actually loved it.
preparation for it.
I actually loved it. But I lucked out with the winter. It was pretty mild. But I was reading one book in particular, David Goggins, Can't Hurt Me. And that guy endured a lot of shit growing up, like really shitty childhood, kind of shitty adulthood. And then he just said, fuck it, I'm taking life by the balls. That's it. And you can see him, like he's an all or nothing. And I people either love him or hate him, like Eric said, but I love
Before,
him. Like
on the first recording.
Yeah. On the first.
Erica, I also
one.
said, part of me wants to get Goggins on the podcast one day.
That would be pretty cool.
Yep.
I honestly don't know much about him.
Right.
So
That's the same thing.
gotta
I'm
do
like,
some
I don't know
research.
anything about this guy's story. I want Goggins.
So David Goggins, if you're listening to this, your book is fucking amazing.
Yes.
Get on this podcast, please. But there was like one blizzard I ran through, and of course it was like a 9-miler, and it was a light flurries in the beginning, but like by mile 7, it was just like full on 40-mile-an-hour winds,
Ooh.
snow hitting me from the side. I stopped. I'm like, my light's dying on me. My headlamp doesn't work. I'm in just an open field. I have to run home, and
The
I'm like,
beard's not
either
keeping you warm. It's that cold.
No, nothing. It's cold. It's going right through me.
Yeah.
So it was either A, quit, call your friend and pick up, or stop being a little bitch and run home because you only have 2 miles to go. So I chose option B, and I ran home, and I'm screaming to myself like, "Don't be a little bitch!" I'm screaming at every profanity in the dictionary, and I got home, and it was great. I'm like, okay, if that's what I have to endure, then I'm okay with that. And then the rest, it was just smooth sailing in a way. I got sick once, but it wasn't. You expect to get sick at least one time throughout your training. But it was a pretty mild winter, like I said. And it was fun. It was all fun. I just took it day by day.
Yeah.
That's how you got to do it. Yeah. Because otherwise it can be very daunting just seeing the amount of miles you have coming up. But yeah, if you take it just one step at a time, it's bound to be easier in a way.
I'm going to ask you a really stupid question here.
Mm-hmm.
How did you come up with the name The Bearded Runner? Now, wait. Right. I know. It sounds stupid. Dude, I have a freaking huge beard. I get it. But did you always refer to yourself as like the bearded aviation guy or the bearded whatever? No. Were you just like, how did you decide on Instagram to be the Bearded Runner?
I started off with the Great Danilo, Danilo.
Okay.
Just because from work somebody called me Danilo. I'm like, oh, cool, I'm the Great Danilo. I'm like, let me start that. It just didn't flow well, and I'm like, if I want to do something or tell someone on my Instagram page, like they're like, what is that? So then I was talking with my friend. I'm like, I'm thinking about changing my Instagram handle. What do you think about this? He's like, that's fucking genius.
Erica.
I mean, makes sense.
Erica, maybe you should do that.
Yeah, I think
he's never gonna leave it down.
Erica 6-star?
Six
Yeah,
star
I think you should.
Erica.
Yeah, that sounds good.
You know it's
And
gonna
it just-
happen.
It'll
Thank you,
happen after the
Dan.
show.
Thank you for
watch.
that.
Probably.
This is exactly
You're
where I
welcome.
was going with that.
But I'm gonna do it and not tell you, and then ruin all of your plans for content. So
I can always redo that. So no, I recall that name, Dan. You were like the Dan Lillo or something, and then you changed it.
Didn't flow.
Yeah, and it's perfect. So now when you're running and someone doesn't know that your name's Dan, and it just sounds weird when they're like, "Hey, it's the Great Dan Lillo." What?
Yeah.
But when you run by in Boston and you're going by mile 19, where On the Runs will be, we could be like Bearded Runner, and you can turn and be like, "Yes."
That's
there's
it.
no mistaking you.
Yeah.
And all you just see is just this splitting as it goes backwards like this.
Because you're running so fast.
Speed.
Yeah.
People ask me like, does that slow you down? I'm like, no, I don't think it does.
It looks
it does.
light and fluffy, so I don't see how that would. I mean, it might fly in your mouth and you have to be like, but
Sometimes like
He actually can carry his gels in there.
that's
I
right,
was gonna
carry
say
my
you like braid it, put a hair tie in it.
He
or
braids
something.
little
Hold on.
pockets and he puts his food and nutrition in there.
Yeah,
facts.
that's where my carb loading comes
I
from.
can see you picking jelly beans out, like the sport beans, or like.
I've had like
I'm making
I
it
love-
up,
I
but
love-
it's probably could be. You could probably do it.
I love oatmeal raisin. I have an oatmeal raisin cookie, and I'm like, oh, there's one. I just start eating it. I'm like, oh, there it is. I don't know if you saw this, but when the whole Barbie thing was a thing, I was like, you know what? Let me do this to myself. So I did that. Just braided
I love
it.
it, actually. That's a good look for
Became
you.
a professional at braiding. I have a whole little kit at home, upstairs that I just use. I have a bunch of bands if I need to.
Yeah. Oh, we could
Those
go
are
on
the
and
ones,
on
the
about
bubble
beard
braids.
talk.
I wanna learn how to do that stuff. I need
You got to
some
grow a beard.
hair.
Yeah.
Well,
Erika had a beard once, actually.
Uh-oh.
yeah. For Halloween, I was Forrest Gump.
Oh, that's right.
I kept
saw
it on
that.
all night long, and I was like I had a beer, and I was trying to drink it, and I'd pull the beer down, take a sip, put the beard back up. I committed. That was pretty good.
I kind of said in the intro you have a crush on Forrest Gump, but that actually isn't true, as we learned earlier. It's just for some reason I got confused. I thought you went as Forrest Gump for Halloween too, and I was like, oh, who wore it better, Erika or Dan? But you were like
No,
Thor or something, right?
Well, that was during the superhero run, the superhero 17 run that we do. So I was lazy fat Thor. So that's what I was then. And there was a Halloween run, and I can't think of his name. Dude with the pickaxe, the Christmas show.
Oh, Cornelius.
Yes.
Something Cornelius.
Yes, that was Courtney. I'm gonna find it here, but yeah, I dressed up as him for the Halloween run that I did.
Oh,
Nice.
from
That
Rudolph. From Rudolph.
Yes.
Yes. The
Yukon
Yep.
Cornelius.
New Count Cornelius.
Yes.
I had the whole pickaxe. I had everything. I had the hat, the muffin, the earmuffs, the gloves, everything. Even the shirt matched. It was perfect.
Excellent.
You could
I
do
saw
a lot, my
Yukon
man.
Cornelius at Ghost Train this past year. Somebody, I want to say they did 100 miles in that costume, or they did a lot of miles at least. But I was impressed. I was like, that's commitment.
That's a lot.
You know, the two of you can do some pretty amazing things, but one thing you'll never be able to do, Mr. Clean.
I don't want
Do
to.
you have a towel? Do you actually polish it up
I
too?
should do it. But anyways, back to running. Let's
Running.
Take us to race day,
kind of a
Boston
running
Marathon. Again, like the only thing you ever did was really a 5K. Did you do any of those like in Derry, New Hampshire, there's like a 20 miler or something, or 16 miler, a Boston warm-up run, right? Did you do any
Boston
races?
prep.
Yeah, did you do any Boston prep races, or did you again just run with your run group, the Bulldogs, and then go marathon?
Yeah. So every Monday through Friday, it was just me, solo runs typically. Well, Mondays was Bulldogs, and then the others with me, and then Saturdays always with the Bulldogs. Even our 20 miler, we just did together. We chose different spots here and there, but it was always with them. The second to last long run, we actually chose to do the Duxbury half.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to do that one as like a sub 140 half. So I did that, and that was just like a nice speedy kind of workout for me. But no, there really wasn't many prep races. It was just honestly going to the gym, strength training, and running 6 days a week. And Sunday was my rest day, and I took that seriously. No one knows what rest day means until you run and work out 6 days a week for 18 weeks straight, because that is like the best day ever. What are you doing? Nothing. What do you mean? Absolutely nothing. I'm going to be in my pajamas all day on the couch drinking coffee. That's it.
Watching
But
what
yeah,
on
so that
TV?
was it.
Leave me here.
Yeah.
Do not
Watching
disturb
football,
on.
whatever the hell is on.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Just
Good for you.
That's it. Yeah.
Well earned.
Well, take us to race day then. Let's go to the beginning. Maybe take us to the weekend, the expo and everything. Like, are you like taking it all in? Are you in awe? Are you just like overwhelmed?
I need to know about your nerves.
Yeah.
How you feeling? Yeah.
We did a shakeout run at the Res with some of the Bulldogs, and then some of us headed over to the expo, and it was amazing. Like, it's like, holy shit, I'm here to pick up my first marathon bib ever, and it's the Boston Marathon bib. It was just kind of like,
That's epic, man. That is
it's like
epic.
kid in the candy store.
Mhm.
The process was easy in my opinion, and just seeing all the stuff that's there, it's like it's hard to take everything in such a short period of time, because you want to go home and you want to just start resting, because you don't want to use up all your energy. That's the other thing. It's like you want to have a lot of fun, but at the same time, you want to be in and out and just go rest. That's all.
Oh,
you wanna
you're
do.
like the opposite of me. I have no chill when it comes to like expos. I'm like, and then if I'm traveling, I'm like, I gotta go see everything, and I walk everywhere. So I never get the time off my feet. I'm like walking around for 4 days beforehand. Like, did
My
you get
thing
a
that
chance to relax?
Yeah, I did. Sunday, I just really didn't do anything. My biggest fear of that weekend was just not getting sick. Because like the week or two prior to that, I had to travel for work it was in like March.
Mhm.
And then I started feeling a little sick 2 weeks before it. So I'm like, I was like taking in vitamins, and thank God I didn't get sick. But that was like my biggest fear, was just getting sick that whole weekend. So I was just trying to relax as much as I could.
Yeah.
The thing that I was looking forward to was putting on that celebratory jacket once I finished.
I was gonna
like,
ask you. I'm like, what kind of swag
that's-
did you get? Like, so you did get the jacket. What colors were it? Was it last
It
year?
was kind of like a
the
purplish
Gray.
something.
It was
Gray purple.
It was like a gray yellow. I'll tell you right now, I hated that thing.
I
was like,
thought
I'm
it was
not fucking buying
awesome
this.
because I kind of what was the color pterodactyl called it? It was like it was gray, but it was kind of plummy, like purple or something.
Yeah.
And the yellow, I thought
was
the
just-
yellow looked amazing. I loved the jacket. I thought it was great.
So when you see it in person, it's different because they had little, like, not a sparkle, but like you can see that they had a little extra design that, like, if the sun hit it right,
Mhm.
it actually shined.
Yeah.
It had a little shine to it. I'm like, okay, this is actually pretty nice, and you're gonna buy it no matter what you say, Dan. So just fucking buy the thing.
Right.
So I bought it, and then I posted it, and then I literally hung it up in my closet for like 4 months. I'm like, that's
Oh.
it. It's just gonna sit there.
I get
which
it.
is fine. I was like,
I
yeah.
get it because Dan, you don't know, but or maybe you do know, I did Ironmans. And the thing about doing an Ironman is the backpack they give you when you sign up and you go there, and you get this awesome backpack. So I always did the halves, the 70.3s. So you'd get like not a mini backpack, but the full, you would get a big backpack. So when I went to do my first full Ironman, I've seen the backpacks that other people have gotten before. And I'm like, I can't wait for the backpack. And it was such a disappointment. It was the worst backpack. It was poor quality. The zipper
no.
didn't work. Everything ripped. The little meshy things where you put your water bottles ripped. This thing, I finally threw it away. Like, I salvaged it because I thought maybe I'll like cut off the Ironman part and have someone sew it on to something.
Mhm.
My other Ironman bags that I've had much longer are still in great condition. I use every day. Like, one was like the dry bag material too. But the one full Ironman I did, dude, so disappointed. Like, Scott Black, Erika, shows up a couple days after I register. I'm up there. I'm getting ready. He shows up the day before and he goes, "Let me see the backpack." I'm like, dude, it sucks. Here.
Oh no.
You can have it.
I almost bought like $150 Ironman Mount Tremblant backpack to make up for it. And I'm like, yeah.
Well, that's basically
Yeah.
the celebration jacket. That
Yeah.
shit's not cheap.
Yeah.
It's like at least
No,
120.
yeah, it's 120. The New York one was even more expensive.
So wait, you have to buy the jacket. The
You don't-
jacket
Yeah.
doesn't come with your registration. So at least the backpack came
You
with my
don't
registration.
have to, but you
Yeah.
really want to.
Yeah.
You want to see Happy Dan picking up his bib at the marathon?
Look at that
Ooh.
face.
It's like- They're just like, hey, Dan. I'm like, I'm picking it up. It's mine.
Memories.
That
But-
just shows the vibes. Like
Oh, yeah.
the anticipation is flowing. You're just like you looked like me at Peloton Studios, like like getting ready to explode with excitement.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's cool,
It's
man.
that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The whole weekend, it seems to be like a pretty cool atmosphere. And I think this year, Eric and I are going to try to get down one day for the weekend before
Would be cool.
before the actual race. But we'll be there, mile 19. Can't wait. Erica, I was actually on Google Maps the other day, scoping out the other side of the road where we should go.
You are in charge of telling people this year.
I
Or
will.
next year. This year.
It'll be awesome. But Dan, take us to race day. Like, the Boston Marathon doesn't start at 6 a.m. like a lot of other races, or even 8 a.m. But you still have to wake up early, get breakfast or whatever. Logistics, you might have to find a bus ride or get a ride to, the starting area where everyone hangs out. Tell us about the race day.
I think I was up at like 4:35 in the morning just to treat it as a regular long run day. And I had my 3 pancakes that I would have every single week for a long run, just to start carbing up. And I made a second batch that I put in a Ziploc bag to have so I can time it just right to have the other one. Because they say after like 3 hours, you have to reload again because you want to keep that carb load going. And then another Bulldog who was running the marathon with me picked me up. So his dad was just going to drive us to the Common, which was perfect because I was like, I am not going to drive myself, do all this shit. I'm not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So we got there and we all met up on the corner by Starbucks. I had my second dose of pancakes. I had brought my own maple syrup and everything. They're like, what are you doing? I'm like, just having fucking pancakes. Just like chowing down on pancakes.
If I saw you mowing down on pancakes like on the bus or something, I'd be like, you are good people. Let's be friends, because I would wish I had.
You
pancakes.
just would you would be trying to like get a couple bites of his pancake. You're like, can I have one?
Hey. But like that is just epic. I mean, I would want to be friends.
We can be friends. I'll make you pancakes.
Yes. Okay.
You might need to get a new computer though for him to actually befriend you.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
I don't know if I can go for a Mac though. Maybe we could just be. Yeah. I'll work my way up from acquaintance to pancake getting friend.
But I had all my
just don't buy a brand that will be out of business in a couple of years.
Oh
see what I can do. Don't worry. Gotta do my research. Anywho, go ahead. Pancakes.
Pancakes. I even had all my different fluids. Mm-hmm. My Morton's 160. I had my C4 pre-workout. I had my electrolytes that I had to throw in there. And what else did I have to drink? There's another one that I forget. Morton's, C4.
5-hour energy.
Something else.
Celsius.
Yeah, something else.
Red Bull. Mountain Dew.
I'm sitting there with my friend. I'm like, should I drink it now? Should I drink? He's like, I don't know. Just
I totally
drink it later.
get
I'm like,
that.
fuck.
Yeah, like that nervousness of like, should I do?
Because you don't want it to taper off.
Especially if you're drinking stuff, you don't want to have to pee like immediately. So like I'll be like,
well, that was my fear. Yeah, that was my fear. And then it was raining, so we had to wear. So I they told us what to do. Like the Bulldogs are like, just bring a grocery bag and just put on your shoes, and you'll be fine. Throw away ponchos, throw away sweater, throw away shirt, because then you're going to shed it all off. Mm-hmm. So I bought stuff at Savers, like a $5 sweater, and I just threw it out or donated it because that's what everyone does. And then just hung out at the CVS until it was my wave to go. And that was the start. But it is kind of nerve-wracking because you have to be up at 4:35 in the morning, and I didn't start till 11. So I have like a full 6 hours to eat, crap, pee a million times, and then be like, again. Are we going yet? Are we going yet? And crap again. Are we going yet? Are we going? Like it was just, everything has to kind of work out perfectly.
Mm-hmm. How were the bathroom lines that day? Did you have to wait in long porta potty lines?
No, there were so many bathrooms.
That's nice.
I didn't have any issue.
That's nice. That's nice because you probably get a clean one. It's not like that everyone's been in or destroyed yet. Your odds are pretty good.
Yeah.
Unlike Justin.
Oh my God.
We had a guy, he goes, I picked the one porta potty that everybody else used.
Not to mention he had to puke in it. Yeah.
But finally 11 o'clock rolls around, or whatever time you actually start at, and you got to run.
It was, and I was there with all my Bulldogs. There was like five or six of us, even 7 of us, just going up that start point. Everyone's screaming, yelling, happy, songs are going. It was like, right now I'm just getting chills just thinking of like, that's like the best moment ever. And then the race has started. Now it's you. It's you to finish 26.2 miles. Go through every single, town. I told myself I'm going to high five as many people as I can. Just have fun, smile the whole time. I think I hit Franklin and it just started fucking downpouring. I'm like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah, you were excited.
But I didn't care. I was like, this is great. Everyone's like, oh, I don't know if everyone was, but I was like, this is awesome. I don't mind. I've run through worse. This is fine.
Yeah, you did worse than that David Goggins run you had.
Oh, and then guess what? I ran into another Forrest Gump at the race. Yeah.
Well, actually, this is a real question now about the beard and running. Like when it rains and your beard gets soaked, does it get heavy? When it's snowing and it gets covered in snow and ice, does it get heavy? Does it bother you with the weather? Like you said, it was downpouring. Does that bug you?
It just does this. It just splits. It literally splits. You know, how women say, "Oh, my hair is just gonna like puff out because of humidity." This happens; it just puffs out because of humidity, and it's just there.
Does it bug you,
It's not
or is it just
super
like
heavy.
meh?
Nah, it's just meh. That's it. There's no. I don't really. It doesn't weigh me down. Now, when it's snowing or it's ice, the icicles do build up. You can actually feel it, and you get inside and it just starts thawing out, and you're like, "Oh shit!" There's just water all over the floor. I'm just pulling icicles off my beard and my mustache. But yeah, no, it's just there. It's just a part of me.
All right, more beard talk for later. Back to the race. It's downpouring now. What, in Franklin?
Yeah. And then of course I run into another Forrest Gump, and hopefully I can find it, but let's keep talking.
So you had all right. So you're in Franklin. It's downpouring. You were with like 6 or 7 Bulldogs, but you had an A goal, you had a B goal, you had a secret goal of like a sub 345. Were the Bulldogs you were with, were they on the same page, or were you like, guys, I'm going to stick to my goal. If you're with me, great. If not, good luck. Have fun. See you at the finish line.
Everyone did their own thing. Like in the beginning, we had, we ran kind of together, then we separated, then I caught up with a few. And then after that, I didn't really see any of them because everyone has their own goal. It's their own race. I've seen people on the sidelines that were Bulldogs. Friends of Bulldogs had Bulldog signs. So they were cheering us on. And then the Bulldogs have their own cheer station at just right by the res. What is it? 20 mile 21, I think that is. Right before you turn onto the
second greatest cheer station on the course, second to only the on the runs cheer station at mile 19.
Oh, I was gonna say the Wellesley kiss tunnel or whatever.
you can hear that when they say you can hear from a mile away.
Scream tunnel, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did you get any smooches from any of the college girls?
I got a few of these. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna just. I got a few of those.
An actual kiss would have slowed you down.
Yeah. But they were giving them out. No.
So you're doing your thing. Were you on pace to hit your goal at this point when you're hitting like the scream tunnel? You're giving out high fives. Were you just on track to hit your goal, or were you kind of having to readjust yet?
I was just going with the flow, and it just felt good. Like I just knew that I was on pace. I looked at my watch occasionally here and there, but I knew I was on pace. So there was really no slowing down. It was just a continuous flow.
Good.
It just felt good.
Nice.
Oh, here I found it. All right, there he is.
Oh, you and Forrest Gump.
Yeah,
and that's what your beard will do when it will get. It's not yours. It was the other guys. It will split. Okay. Yeah. Nice.
He's literally wearing a Bubba. That's a Bubba Gump shrimp hat too.
I have a Bubba Gump hat too. So every race I do now, I wear my Bubba Gump hat.
That's why I thought you had a crush on him. I wasn't wrong. I was like, I knew you did something, but you just didn't dress up like him on Halloween. You just dress up like him every day instead.
And then I wear my 1-inch booty jorts. So that's usually my setup.
So, all
right,
love it.
Thanks to Andy Glaze. I wear my booty jorts all the time, every single race. Can't miss me.
Oh my god,
we love Andy.
He's an awesome ultra runner. Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
he's insane.
Yeah, guys, keep those fingers crossed. Hint, hint.
News to me. Hello.
Well, so you're having fun, I view a race like Boston like a victory lap. I wouldn't be too concerned about time, but you're on time. You're having fun. You're doing your thing. You're running into other bearded friends. Like, how did the rest of the race go?
Amazing. It's just amazing. I will say at mile 23 to 24, I started feeling slight cramps.
Oh, okay.
But it wasn't like, good. Oh my God. I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, no. I was like, not today, motherfucker. Not today. You are not falling on your first marathon. It's no. And then you see the Sitco sign. You're like, okay, we're here. And then you make the right on Hereford, left on Boylston. You're like, oh, this is it. And then I was just like pumping up the feet. I was just, hands were flying everywhere.
Oh, you're giving me goosebumps. I love it.
And then there were actually like a handful of people out there to cheer me on that I didn't know they were there. Oh. And then one of which was my coworker. She was there, and all of a sudden I hear her screaming, Dan. I'm like, what the fuck? I turn around, she's back there, and I run backwards and I just start screaming at her, and she gets it on video, and then I run to the finish line. And then
what about the COO?
They were at mile marker 16 with all my coworkers.
That's
so there was about So they're at mile marker 16. So I skipped almost the full marathon. They were there's about 40 of them.
Whoa!
They were just there to cheer me on. Yeah,
You're a popular
they always
guy.
cheer people on. Yeah, and they have all the cowbells. They see me coming. His thing was like, we have all these people running. They're happy, whatever. And then we see this big monstrous dude just pumping his hands up and this big beard, and we're like, there's fucking Dan. That's him. That's Dan coming right down. Oh, I hear his cowbells go, and I'm like, there they are.
Yeah.
You want to enjoy the moment and like have, just start talking, but you're like, no, I got to keep going because if I stop, it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep going. They got all these videos of me. They're like, no, we understand. Just keep going because the next 4 miles is going to suck when you hit Heartbreak Hill. And that hill is something else.
Is it? I've never actually seen it.
Well, though.
I mean, we were kind of hanging out near it, but I've never like ran it, drove on it. How big of an epic hill is this? Is it really Heartbreak Hill?
It gets you because
After
it's
90 miles. Yeah.
It's 4 miles.
I've heard mixed reviews. That's all. I'm asking. I've heard mixed reviews.
It's not that bad. It could get you, but it's just think about it, it's 4 miles of going up plateau, up plateau, up plateau, up plateau, and then you're like, oh, now you're gonna go downhill, but then you're gonna go up another hill from underneath the bridge. I think it was the second hill. I started feeling like shit. I was a little disappointed, and then a buddy of mine that I went to college with was like there, and he's like, "Hey, Dan!" I'm like, "Holy shit, it's another Dan." There's my friend Dan from college. He was like, I just not randomly, but I made time to go and see you, and you were just right there. And he got this epic picture of me running towards him. I give him a huge hug because he's an Ironman finisher,
nice,
and marathoner and everything. And he was just happy to see me. I was like, dude, if it wasn't for him, I probably would have struggled up Heartbreak Hill. But because of him, he gave me that extra boost to go up those 2 additional miles.
Love it.
And then, of course, my Bulldogs were right at mile 21. It was just a perfect staging of everybody that should have been where they were. So it was just a perfect. It was literally perfect marathon.
That's
awesome. It really was.
Well, you know what they say about guys named Dan?
We're the best.
They're the man.
Oh, I messed that up. Wait, let's do that again.
No,
hit the end
it's
button.
staying. We've been here long enough. It is now 2.5 hours from our original recording time. Thanks, Erika.
Thanks, Riverside. Yeah.
Thanks, Erika's phone that updated.
Oh my God.
So you had friends there, you had coworkers, you had family, I'm assuming you had people there.
That's my friend. That's at Heartbreak Hill.
That's a great, you need to send me all these photos, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will.
Oh, what was the end of the race like? Like you're coming down the end.
I'm dying to know. Like, yeah, you're in the finish line chute, basically. Did you do what you came there to do?
I did. I actually crossed the finish line at 3:38:17.
Oh,
amazing!
Yeah.
Nice work.
So
3:38:17.
Yeah.
What was like your training paces? What is that pace? Hold on a second. I'm gonna pull
That's
up
fast.
this. There's this website I found, guys. It's pretty awesome. It's called Google.
Pace calculator. Let's go. Oh, I can look at my phone and find that. I have.
Now you can because you have a phone on the podcast.
Yeah.
Marathon.
That's like low 8s at least. Like, is that?
Yeah, I think it's an 8:20, I believe.
Holy shit! All right.
Yeah.
So a marathon at 3:38:17 is 8 minutes, 19.53 seconds per mile.
Even better.
Nice work. Nice work.
What were you running for times like throughout the winter? Did you think were you typically like at that pace, or wow, that's good? You've only been running like 8 months at this time, dude, consistently.
Yeah.
He's a natural.
Yeah. You're a natural.
Yeah. I mean, there were some times where I was running. I actually did one of my long runs. I think I did in the 7s for like 16 miles, and we just did it. So I was like, okay.
Nice.
But then I was told by a few people, like, don't be stupid and run fast now because you literally have 8 weeks to go. You don't want to hurt yourself. I'm like, okay, so I'll slow it down to like maybe the mid 8s or 9s. So I would do my runs typically in like the 9s, maybe mid to high 8s, low 9s. No, I'm not calling anybody out, but you know who I beat by 5 seconds?
Tell me.
Should we know?
I think you should know, Eric.
Chara.
Yes. I beat him by 5 seconds.
Time.
I was sitting at
time wise, not 5 seconds in front of him.
Time wise. Yeah, no. just time wise. I was getting my with a few coworkers getting my post marathon meal. I'm like, oh wow, I beat him by 5 seconds. Look at that, guys. Yeah,
Amazing.
that was his first
That was
too.
his first marathon.
Yes, I think he's going faster. He's super fast.
So you need to go and beat him again.
I do.
Oh, it's
I mean, but you
on.
see it, but he's so tall. His strides are like twice as
I mean,
mine.
his stride per second's probably like 4.8,
Yeah.
where you're a
I
3.22.
know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, he's a fast guy. I'm glad he's doing all these races. This is awesome for him.
I think it's so
love
cool. Like the guy's hiked Kilimanjaro. He's done. He's going to do an Ironman one day. I always visioned him as doing an Ironman, and then he just picked up the marathons. I think it's so cool. He's a Boston guy. I mean, I'm a big time.
Well, he's a third of the way there then.
I mean, the most epic pic is of him and Becca just crossing the finish line with their hands up, and he's like lifting her up, and she's just like, "That's the best."
I saw that. Yeah,
That's
they're always next to each other running too, quite often, and even in the triathlon, they're at Daytona. That was
So wait, how do
pretty
they
wild.
know each other? Does she train him?
I think she
or-
coaches him. We need to ask her.
Nice.
We need to get her on the pod, Becca. Becca,
that'd
come
be
on the pod.
Becca.
Dude, your Boston Marathon seems like the greatest experience ever. Like, how could you top that? Your first marathon. Some people say like,
Yeah, a lot of people do the one and done, but I presume you did not do one and done.
No, what was next?
No, I was asking about New York since I wanted to do the World Majors, and then within like 4 days, I reached out to a few people. Like, here's the application. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm running the New York City Marathon within like a week of finishing Boston.
I need to reach out to you then, to reach out to these people. If I want to do one of these races, I'm just going to be like, hold on, bearded runner, I want to do a race. Can you reach out to someone? Because a couple days later, you're in New York.
So New York
that
was
was-
was it another fundraising thing for you?
It was. Yeah,
That's
that one was
I've
significantly
fundraised a bunch of
less.
times. Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was only 3,000. I was like, that's it.
I
like,
know.
yeah,
Once you're in
thank God.
Boston, you're like,
What are
yep.
you fundraising for, by the way?
So for Boston was for the Bulldogs. I did like 11.5 was my end, the amount that I fundraised. For New York was PALS Skyhope Patient Airlift Services. They're based out of Farmingdale, New York Airport, and their primary people that help are those that have their own aircraft, piston, jet, and these pilots use their own planes, their own money, their own fuel to get people that are in like Presque Isle, Maine, that have to come down for life-saving procedures, and everything's covered. All they have to worry about is showing up and their insurance covering the medical expense. PALS will cover the flight, the hotels, the transportation, and then they'll fly them back. Because some of these people are driving 8-9 hours one way for a treatment that'll take 3 hours, and then they have to stay at a hotel and then drive another 9 hours back. So instead, some of these people that I do know have their own jets, and they would fly
That's
to
awesome.
Maine and get there in an hour and a half, flying down,
Yeah.
and then flying the same day home, and they're feeling great because your body's going through enough stress with whatever procedure you're going through or cancer treatment or something. But now that weight is taken off of your shoulder, you just show up, get your treatment, and go home. So that was for New York City. So that was just kind of like, let me use my aviation background to help out, and then, with my running. So it all worked out. So
That's great.
because I've seen a lot of these patients at the Norwood Airport. It's heartbreaking when you see a 3-year-old that's going through cancer. It's like, that's not what he or she should be doing.
No.
So what they do is incredible work, and these pilots are absolutely kick-ass superheroes, is what I can tell
for
you.
you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you have a good training
So that was
cycle
for New York.
for New York City like you did for Boston?
No, it wasn't the same
Because
no.
spare no details.
See, that's
Dan.
what happens.
Spare no details. I know.
it was good, but it wasn't as amazing as it was with the Bulldogs, because it's hard to top your first perfect training cycle running with the same people. And it was a solo training cycle. Solo training cycle. In the dead of the summer. I've never trained in the summer, so this is my first time training this summer now. But I'm using all the skills that I acquired running for Boston now in the summer, so I have to adjust a lot, differently. But I will say what was better, in my opinion, was the expo at New York was far better. me getting to the race was actually even easier because I grew up in Jersey, of course.
Mhm.
So it was just literally a 15-minute drive to Staten Island. My dad dropped me off and I'm already at the start line. And I just walked right through the gate. There's no buses, no nothing. The people, the energy that you get through all the 5 boroughs, I think it tops Boston. People are probably going to hate me saying this, but New York City Marathon is better than the Boston Marathon.
All right, now hold on. You
I
grew
have
up.
my own
You grew up
opinions.
just outside New York City. Let me ask you this: are you like
Yeah.
a New York sports fan, or are you a Boston sports fan?
I like my Boston team.
Really? Okay.
I do.
Okay.
I do.
I thought
do.
I was going to say if you said, "Oh, I'm a Giants or a Jets or a Rangers fan or
So
something," I was going to say, "Well, you're a little biased to pick New York City over Boston," but you thought New York City was okay. All right, we've never been. We need to go and figure this out.
I've been.
That's the only thing I think that New York does better or best is the New York City Marathon. I don't care to go to New York. I really don't. But if I had to go to New York, it would be for the marathon.
Okay.
And that's it.
So you don't like Times Square? That's not cool.
No, absolutely not.
You don't like those
No
people
way.
dressed in costumes who want money to take a picture with them? Come on.
Nah. This beard sells itself. I don't need to do that.
You could go there and
I
charge
love it.
people to take pictures with you.
100%. But no, it's no.
Instead of the naked
See, I've got-
cowboy, you could be the naked bearded runner.
And I'll just cover myself up with my beard.
Your
That'll
beard
be
would
it.
be
That's
low enough by then. Just keep it growing.
Oh, Jesus. See, I have my own opinions about races that are better than Boston, because my Boston year was the monsoon year, 2018. So
I heard.
the crowds were not out like I had hoped. But I have run Chicago 3 times, and I will say, hands down, Chicago is the best of the majors. So,
Well, spoiler
Mhm.
alert,
Spoiler alert.
Dan is running the Chicago Marathon.
that is
I am.
amazing.
And we'll have to
This
have
year.
Dan back to tell us Boston, New York, Chicago, what's best.
I heard it's a hybrid between New York and Boston. That's what I've heard. So now I have two opinions.
I
that
can't
have
wait to hear about what you think.
Okay.
How did the race go
I
in New
can't
York?
wait. Not as planned. Far from planned. But, you're going to have to accept that things are going to go to shit pretty quickly and then just have fun with it and roll with it. I was shooting for a 317 to 320.
Wow.
That's a huge
That's what I was shooting
cutoff
for.
from what you did in Boston.
Yeah.
And this is
That
your
was my-
second marathon?
We didn't realize getting into this that the bearded runner is really the fast bearded
He
runner.
fast. He fast.
I wish I was for this one, but the New York sneaks up on you.
Mhm.
Those bridges are very long hills. Just imagine going up very slowly, very gradually for a mile and a half, and then back down and destroying your legs, and then going back up, and then going back down. And you're like, what the fuck am I doing?
Mhm.
So the first half, I was cruising. I was at like a 7:40 pace. So this is perfect. I'm right on target. And then by the right after the half point, I'm like, my left hamstring's starting to act up like it was literally this past weekend. And then by the time I got to the Queensboro, it was just like, fuck you. My left went and my right went. And then I'm just hobbling. And then I got to this picturesque picture, whatever you want to call it, of the city. I'm like, all right, I just need to reset, accept the fact that I'm probably not going to get this goal time now because it's just not going to happen. Just take a nice selfie and then just have fun. At one point, my quads started going. So both my quads and my hamstrings are now cramping on me the whole time. I have the BioFreeze station. So I'm like, just slap it on me. Just massage the hell out of my legs. Guy has a Theragun. He's beating my hamstrings up with the Theragun. I'm like, I don't care at this point.
Mhm.
They're giving me salt. It was not pleasant. The pain was there, but I still had a blast. I think that the crowds are just great. I was at one point, there was a full-on band playing. I just, I'm going to just hang out here for 5 seconds and just take a picture, video, enjoy it. I'm not getting this goal time anymore. Just have a good time. By mile 25 and a half, I got to the side and people were like, you okay? I'm like, I'm all right. And then both my legs just totally seized on me and they caved in on me and I almost collapsed and I grabbed onto the railing like, do you need medical? I'm like, absolutely not. I have literally less than a half a mile to go. I am
Because
not needing any medical.
if you need medical, you're pulled from the race, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, half a
and I
mile
was
to go.
not doing
No
that.
way. There should be no medical tents in the last mile. Let's be honest.
Well, yeah, there wasn't, but I'm like, you were not getting any medical. I'm done finishing
You
this
can
shit.
meet me at the finish line, but I'm going to run to the finish line one way or the other. Even if I have to crawl.
No, I was going to do it. And then I crossed the finish line and I finished at like 3:58.18. I was like, if I can just get to a sub 4 at this point, I will be happy. And I did. And that was it. But I had a great
Good
time.
for you. That's a tough thing to overcome when your legs don't cooperate, because that's the number one thing you need to finish a race.
Yeah. I've heard people have stories of like, oh, my legs freezed up and seized up. I'm like, I don't know what that feels like. Now I do. It's painful. It's not fun. And it was a mental game. It wasn't a physical. It was more of a mental game because you're like, I trained all this time to go for this one goal, and now I can't do it.
Yeah.
So and then you're like, well, what if I drank that one extra bottle of sodium that I had, which I did, and I didn't drink it. It's like, what if I just had that? What if I'd had this? And it's like,
learning experience.
You can play the what if game all day long, and who knows?
Yeah. But I still finished. I got my medal. I had an amazing time.
2 stars.
And then I bruised my lovely toenail, and it finally fell off.
Welcome to the club.
Let's see it.
I know. Finally,
let's see it. Oh, I'm just kidding.
I mean, I can do that. No, I could do it. Hold on.
Onlyfeet.com, man. Onlyfeet.com.
See, look at that bad boy. It's actually not that bad.
Oh, it's tough to tell.
It's your big toenail.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
It was. Oh
no, this is black and blue. And then last week I went to the bathroom. I just like kicked my foot on the cabinet by accident. I hear a snap. I'm like, that's not good. I look down. I'm like, my toenail's just like pushed up. I'm like, oh, sweet.
Nice,
there it is.
Nice.
I feel for you, bud. Oh, that sounds bad.
Part of the club.
So New York's better than Boston. All right. Well, do you plan on doing either of those races again?
At some point. I want to Boston qualify. That's like one of the goals.
You're working
New
your
York,
way towards it.
Yeah. New York I would do probably via the lottery again.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't mind fundraising.
What's on deck for the summertime training for Chicago? Do you have other races on deck? Big fun things. The BAA, right? They have that. You could come up here to New Hampshire and run with us. I
can do that. Just give me a date and time. But I have the BAA. I'm going to do the medley.
Okay.
So I'm going to shoot for a sub 25K. That's one goal. So I'll start that training cycle in February, and then keep speed training, whatever it calls for. And then I'm going to do the 10K. I think I'm going to go for a 44-minute 10K, that one is pretty tough because that one's in the middle of the summer. That one sucks. And then the Chicago Marathon. So
I'm so jealous. I want to go.
I want to run it fast. I don't know if my goal time is going to be unrealistic, but I want to run it super fast.
Chicago is a very fast course. It is super flat, what I want to do. Except for the very last 400 meters.
I heard it's that stupid bridge that just goes up.
Yep. So that's a little bit. As long as you know about it and you're prepared for it, you're going to be fine. And everything else is just smooth sailing. So the crowds are going to be great.
A lot of track work is included during this training cycle because you have to get used to just flat running. So
I don't mind that.
It's super flat. Oh, Chicago's my jam, though. I hope you have a great race, but we will have to touch base again.
So Dan,
got to know how you feel.
You want to get your 6 stars, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you're going to get Chicago this year. And let's say you get London and Berlin pretty easily, but Tokyo is hard to get into. What if someone was like, Dan, you didn't get into Tokyo, but I could get you there, but you need to do something. You get a bib for Tokyo if you shave the beard. Would you do it for the 6 star?
If I did it for the right charity.
Yeah.
If proceeds went to a charity of my choice and it was a lot of money to that charity, I would do it.
Now, full disclaimer,
Yeah,
I can't do that. I can't pay. I can't do any of that. I just wanted to know, like, if you would ever say yes to run the race and for a good cause, or if you're like, no, I'll just try again next year.
No, I would do it for a good cause.
I love that. I love that. I would too if I
would.
could. But, Mr. Clean over here.
I would keep the top because then I can't. It's either the beard or the hair, not both.
I love it. No, you should keep the beard and shave. I'm not trying to encourage you to shave, by the way. You need to keep the beard forever because you are the bearded runner. But I'm all for you shaving the top like mine and having the beard. That'd be a sick look.
Yeah, I'm gonna do those filters on Instagram. See what I look like. I'll send that to you later.
Awesome! I can't wait. Well, you've been super cool with your time because, like, an hour and 20 minutes until we actually started recording.
My fault.
We have a couple cool final questions, Dan, and we'll have to have you back on after Chicago. So you come on after Chicago, tell us all about it. We'll do an OTR live. Perfect. We got a couple questions. Okay, here's mine. We always talk about the code brown, and the code brown, it doesn't have to be like an actual pooping your pants moment. It could be like running into an alligator while you're in Florida on your jog, right? That could be a code brown, like, oh shit. So we're creating this thing called the Code Brown Commandments, and we're hoping you can give us a good commandment. So do you have something to add to our Code Brown Commandments for runners out there?
Bring nip tape.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good one.
I still have mine on for running today. I always put it on. Nip tape. That's it.
I've never...
And in particular, KT tape. KT tape is the shit.
I've never taped my nips, but only once in my life did I have an issue. Only once.
Yeah, that happened to me one time, and it never happened again. It was in one of the winter runs.
You learn your lesson real fast, don't you?
And I was like, we're like 10 miles in. I'm like, why does something hurt? I'm like, oh, shit. And we're like, well, we still got 6 more to go. I'm like, this is going to be painful, but we'll do it. And then you hop in the shower.
That's such a great... Everyone's coming through with these Code Brown Commandments. Like leave no trace was amazing. Don't trust a fart. Bring nip tape. Like, wow. You guys are knocking it out of the park this year with the commandments. Thank you so much. This has turned out way better than I ever imagined it would have.
I'm so glad everybody's creative and everybody has their own learning experiences, Yeah.
Yeah. You'll do it once and never again.
Right. But now it is time for my question. So we have our famous revamped Spotify playlist, and we like to invite our guests to add a song to it. So it could be anything that you're feeling, anything from ZZ Top, just something that's going to keep you motivated.
She knows how to use them.
Anyways, would you like to add a song, Dan?
We should just add legs ourselves.
I do like that song.
The one song that hits me is by M83, Outro.
I gotta hear this.
M83. I don't know if I know this particular one.
They
do. Oh, what's the other song that they do?
I don't even know who M83 is. I'm looking this up right now. M83 Outro. There's a group called the XX. They have a song called Intro. I like that. I'm going to play this later. I don't want to play this now while we're recording because of lawyers.
Yeah.
Oh, you haven't been contacted by anybody, have you?
I have not.
Midnight
Thank
City,
you, everyone.
That's the one I like.
That was so much fun when we recorded the. Go check out 88, the outro episode, as we call it, where we revamped our playlist. Everyone, if you're listening now, that was a lot of fun. We were rocking out to some good tunes there.
All right, Dan, that's your song.
Dan, before we go, I want to give you a chance to pump the tires for anything, your run clubs, just your own hair, beard, grooming products, social media, fundraising for Chicago. The microphone is yours, my man.
If you want to get into running, just fucking do it. It's an amazing outlet for anything. If you're feeling depressed, sad, extra happy, who doesn't like extra endorphins? No, really. And if you want to join the Bulldogs, we're open to anybody. We're in Chestnut Hill, Quincy, and Plymouth. Boston Bulldogs Running Club. And then if you want to donate, please do so as well for my Chicago marathon running for the Ronald McDonald House Charities. So They
You can
do
share your
a
link in
lot
the
of,
show notes.
but also at the end of the day is just there's like we have three things at the Bulldogs is just show up, self leadership, and be transparent.
I love it.
If you lead by those three, you'll be
I
fine.
love it.
It always works out.
Well, you're the man. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for your patience,
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for putting up with my crap technology.
Dan, I hope we get to meet you. Or what are you going to be doing this year for the Boston Marathon? Do you know where you'll be?
Probably with the Bulldogs, mile 21. I just want to be with them. I want to cheer on everyone that's training at the moment, just because it's an amazing experience. Just to have the people that you run with are there supporting you, and there's like 50 to 75 of us. So it's like,
oh, awesome.
Be there to support them.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to be at
Yeah.
mile 19 right near the John Kelly statue. Maybe we walk a mile up and you walk a mile down and we meet at mile 20 for like 20 minutes or something.
That's perfect. Mile 20 for 20 minutes. I like
20
it.
for 20. Love it.
20 for 20.
All right.
Perfect.
All right.
Dan, you're the man. I'm sure you've never heard that before. And thanks so much for
Never.
doing this. It's super cool. I truly enjoy our chats. You and I chat every once in a while. It kind of turned into a weekly thing. And it's been fun, man. So keep it up. Keep the running. You're a cool dude with a wicked awesome beard.
Thank you.
Dan, you really are the man. Thank you so much for everything. So you were just super cool, super chill, and I can't wait to see what's coming up for you next.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Everyone, I hope you enjoyed that. Dan the man, the bearded runner on the On the Runs podcast.
Dan, thank you so much for coming on the pod and sharing all your stories. You are just a wicked cool dude. I'm so happy that you are out there crushing all your races. And I apologize once again for my really, really shitty internet. Hopefully that has been fixed. But hoping to meet up with you at some point soon. We'd love to get some runs in or something.
But yeah, his beard, the only person who has done that beard better.
Are you jealous?
Is Forrest Gump. Am I jealous? No, I feel like they get itchy and everything. He talked about it, right?
Yeah.
We talked about it, and he says you eventually get used to it, or you get over it, or you just the itchiness goes away. But I think he has it to save his food and everything in there. So Dan was cool. I still talk to him on Instagram. It's a lot of fun.
About the washing his beard, like his beard care routine. Yeah, good stuff.
But all right, we got to talk about March Madness. How excited are you? I am super pumped, and I'm really super proud how this came out.
This was a huge brain session between you, me, Lindsay, and Tara, and I think it came out perfect. But you put in so many hours of work just getting the bracket to look nice. So kudos to you. This thing is going to be awesome. I hope you guys really want to play along with us, because this is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to need your input to help move things along through the regions, and
that's right.
It's going to be an absolute blast. I can't wait.
I've asked so many questions to that little group chat we had, and I am proud to say, like you used to always say, oh, I don't want to tell people how many hours I actually spend on this podcast and spend doing this. But I'm actually, you know what? I am damn proud, and I'm happy about the time I put in. I learned so much. And I posted just the other day, like the cover photo, and I'm looking at it on Instagram. I'm like, this looks like a professional photo. So the 2024 edition of the On the Runs March Madness Bracket Challenge is going to have 4 regions. They are race day breakfast, pre-race dinner, race fuel, and post-race grub.
Yes. Yeah, that even took a lot to figure out, like, what categories were going to be perfect. Lots of work went into this.
Lots of work went into it. We got things like pasta and fish, pizza, tacos, chicken, beef, and rice. Breakfast is like bagels, cereals, eggs, waffles, pancakes, Pop-Tarts. Then we got race day fuel, things like gel and gummies and salty snacks. Salty snacks was interesting because I put in pretzels, and you're like, I like chips better. And Tara's like, no, I like pretzels too. I'm with Eric here. And everyone teamed up against you. And then we thought we'd be nice to you and just go salty snacks.
Hey, I pled my case for that because there's a lot of people who would choose different things, but you need a little like salty snack. So I feel like that encompasses a lot of things.
Well, salty snacks is going against energy bars.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how that goes. That's gonna be.
We
tough.
also
It's
got
gonna
some
be tough.
drinks in there. We got like water
Mhm.
and cola, beer and Gatorade, burgers and hot
Yeah.
dogs. It's going to be a lot of fun. Lobster rolls versus Hawaiian rolls. You were not big on the lobster rolls, but let me tell you, I did Ironman Maine, and they gave us lobster after, and it was
They
amazing.
do that at Smutty Nose Rock Fest too, but I'm not a seafood person, so God forbid. I had already said I would do whatever the winners are, and Tara's on board with me. But if lobster roll wins out of all of the other things, I'm going to be shocked, honestly. Same with like fish versus whatever you put it against.
Well, Tara already thinks she knows what the final is going to be.
Yeah, that's her bracket. So I'm going to do my own bracket. You're going to do yours. She did hers. Everybody's got to pitch in. We're going to see how this goes. And I think we should do maybe a prize or something if anybody can get like the perfect bracket. What do you say?
We'll have to figure that out.
Throwing it out
What
there.
do they get to spend a night in your spare room?
I mean, maybe. no cash value.
We could do like, I mean, it would have to be local, but we could like take them out to dinner and eat the final four.
Oh, interesting. No, they get a special. How about they get a special invite to come run with us when we do our race with all this stuff? They can come run with the official On the Runs crew.
I'm going to hand that special invite out to everybody because when you have to eat fish, Pop-Tarts, gummies, and a lobster roll at the same time, it's going to be epic. And I want everyone to see it.
We'll do a Riverside meetup where we'll all be like, all right, here's my Pop-Tart.
Oh,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I love it. No, that's so much better. That's so much better. And I do think we got to try to find some time. We'll do a separate Riverside this week with Tara and Lindsay if it can work out, where we all pick our brackets and we'll drop that
we're gonna
next
do
week.
like a pick of it. Ooh.
Yeah, we should totally do that.
Yeah.
We're going to have to talk to them and figure it out. But it's a 32-team bracket. There's 4 weeks in March. We're going to do this every week. My envision is it will be a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday thing. We'll go one region a week. So this week's region is going to be pre-race dinner, and I'll give you guys a little preview. In the number one slot, we got pasta, and pasta is going up against fish. What do you think, Erika?
It's not going to be fish.
Okay. All right. In the number two slot, we got pizza against tacos. This one might be a little closer.
See, I don't want to give my answers away until because I don't want people stealing my bracket.
This one's going to be tough, I think. We have potatoes versus rice.
Yeah, that is going to be a tough one, but I have my way where I think my mind is going. I definitely have my preferences. So, what's the last one? What do we got?
The last one is chicken versus beef.
Versus beef. Okay. That's not going to work for you vegetarians and vegans out there, but sorry. Just pick one.
So I think every week will be a region. So we'll go with pre-race dinner. Next week will be race day breakfast. Then we'll go fuel. And the last week of March will be post-race grub.
Yes.
And then that weekend we'll do the finals, like the final four. Yes, it'll be a lot of fun. So I'm super excited about this. We've been talking about it since like before we even had a podcast.
Were you in on it when like we did random brackets in 2020 and we made one of like romantic comedies? Were you in on that?
I thought it was Disney movies.
We did too. Yeah.
Yeah, I was, but wasn't it Disney movies?
Or something like that. But I don't.
Do you remember Adeline was our tiebreaker?
I don't remember who actually won though. That was many years
I won,
ago.
of course.
But it's so much fun to do this kind of bracket style challenge.
Yeah, I agree. We're going to have a blast. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, guys, we'd love for everyone to partake.
Put that up so people can print it out.
Yeah, I'm going to post it. It will probably be posted before this drops. So if you can print it out, or if you want me to actually send you a copy, just shoot me an email and I can send you a copy. This will be a ton of fun. And I'll say, even though we're starting the first bracket this week, I'll give you until the end of this week, like Friday, before we pick the champion, to send me your bracket. So it'll be a ton of fun.
Perfect.
And we got to talk, like I said, to Lindsay and Tara, get them on Riverside later this week and do our perfect bracket or something like that. It's going to be a
Yes.
blast.
So have you been following along on Instagram with Paul Johnson? Have you heard of him before?
Absolutely. Wow, this is awesome.
I am so excited.
It's kind of like that girl.
I'm so excited to follow his journey.
I've been following his and also Cole Brower, who's like sailing across the world. She's gonna be done by like the time this drops. She's racing across the world on a boat by herself. She's been out there for like 3 months. But then Paul Johnson running across the country trying to set a new record. What is it? 3,000 something miles in 40 days?
He's running from LA to New York, and so that's about 3,000 miles, and he's trying to break the record and do it in 40 days. So that averages to like 75 miles per day.
Yeah. If he does it in 40 days, he breaks the record by 2 days. So he kind of has a 2-day buffer there.
Mm-hmm.
How would you do that? Would you run 70? Like, I kind of think you should add a few miles, like 1 day a week, like make it 100-mile day. And then at some point you could take a full rest day.
That's true. So I don't know what I would do, but so right now he's like 3 days in, and I think he's 13 miles ahead of schedule. So I think he's slowly tacking on a couple miles here and there. I think eventually he's going to earn himself a full rest day, but oh man, he has all the content on his page where he's.
I hope
showing himself
they make like
and like his recovery.
Yeah, I hope they make this whole YouTube video or something, because he has a team. He has a content team. He has a therapist there rubbing him down. He has a cook. They got a van with a shower and everything. I got questions.
Mm-hmm.
You were like, you need to message him now and schedule it. I'm like, you know what? I think everyone's messaging him now. Let's just say in 40 days it will be Boston Marathon time when he finishes. Okay, so maybe like in May, a month after, I'll reach out and try. But actually, Jared, who's in Tokyo right now, said he will be running through his hometown, and Jared's supposed to, I don't know if I can say it, but Jared's supposed to run with him. Maybe Jared can like drop our name in his ear or something. He's going to be like surrounded.
Super cool.
He's going to be surrounded by so much media that first month. He was already like a guy on a news channel ran with him for a mile and interviewed him. So I think he's probably scheduled out far. I'll take the later schedule once all the media dies down and when he can breathe and just give us the good stuff.
Yeah, he's got some good stories already. I mean, being so early into his journey, he was just running through Palm Springs, California, and he ran into like a sandstorm. Yeah. So like, who can say that they've done that before? That is insane. The wind was nuts and just zero visibility. I don't know how he managed to do it. So can't wait to hear more stories like that.
Well, I also want to know, like, recovery wise. Okay, let's just say you get chafing anywhere. Okay, well, you got to run 75 miles again the next day. What are you doing to cure that chafing overnight or within hours? Like, I want to know those tricks that he's doing and that his team is helping with, because I could just imagine it gets worse when we go on a 17-mile run like we did today, and I might get a little chafe, which I have it like on my hip flexor. It's kind of funny. That spot, never had it there before.
Oh.
How does, like, we could take a full rest day. How's he doing it? I got those questions. And I hope, it would be great to have him on like in the fall when he can give us all the juicy details. And I bet he will have some great Code Brown commandments.
Right. Yeah, definitely start compiling your questions. I'll do the same, and we can reconvene with him hopefully in the future.
Yeah, that would be so cool. So Jared, drop our name in his ear or something, man. If you're listening to this on your flight home from Tokyo. Oh, what a cool week. We haven't even talked. My vacation, it was nice. I go back to work tomorrow. This is the first time I took a full week off of work since August, and it was nice. We went skiing, had some great days skiing, I got to tell you that. But this J Peak Water Park and the J Hotel, amazing. You like, even you and Brandon would love this place. Well, you would love it for a day, but it was perfect for the kids, and I just had a blast. I say a day, like I think you'd be done with it after a day. You don't need it for 4 days like we had it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't ski though, so I would totally just be like, well, this is all I would be doing for a few days.
You could go in the summertime or the fall or something, see the foliage. Yeah, you're right. I had a blast.
Oh, yeah.
I had a good time. I ran outside in shorts and a t-shirt. I just was sick of the treadmill in there for a couple of days. I was trying to get my runs in
Mhm.
at like 10 p.m. at night. And it was just hard after skiing all
Oh.
day. And so I did this one run, 30-minute run outside, and it was supposed to be an easy run. And I wrote like, this was an easy run, but also remember, I'm on a big mountain, so a lot of it was uphill. It was either uphill or down. It wasn't one.
Gotcha.
It wasn't like flat, unlike today.
Well, good for you for getting it done. I mean, after a full day of skiing and watching your kids, like that's a lot of work. So you were dedicated enough to
I'm
get
trying.
you running.
We got the
Good for
20
you.
miler coming up, and I did 17 today, and I felt
Yeah, we
pretty
had 2
good.
weeks.
It was a 9:40 average, and that included an 11.5-minute mile when I walked with you and Jay. So I feel good.
That's right.
And,
Yep.
and we're at the end of the pod, so I can say it. I had an epic Code Brown 1 mile into the run before I joined you and Jay, and I used the butt
Before I
wipe.
even got there.
I used the butt wipe, and I have
Oh, the
zero.
butt napkin. The butt napkin.
That's right, the butt napkin. I have zero like chafe down there in that area. Like that thing was perfect. It was the first time I had to
That's
use the
great.
butt napkin. I had like my droppings were like soft serve. Easy
God,
clean up
dude.
with the wipe. And I was good to go. Like it did not affect me at all. It was the
Coming out of me like lava.
it was the greatest. It was my best Code Brown to date as far as no pain. no chafe, no
remember Jay
pain,
was
no
like,
chafe. I
"Where'd
don't know
you
what to
go?"
call it. Like
And-
I totally forgot
were
it
just like-
happened a mile later and for the entire run.
Well, you were telling us, and Jay was like, "Where did you go?" And you're like, "Don't worry, I'll show you." And she's like, "No, you don't have to." And then we're running, and then all of a sudden, you like cut her off mid sentence. You're like, "Oh, that's where I pooped."
Well, there was
I
this,
took
there's
left
there's
and
a couple
went
like
down the
like a
trail.
Code Brown commandment, know where to go, know the right pull offs or something, right? I knew a pull off, and so
yeah.
that's why I added an extra like quarter mile because I had to get to that pull off. I almost came to your house to use your bathroom on my way, and I was like,
Should've, man. I mean,
I know I
was
could have,
home,
but I
so-
thought I was good to go because I already did it in the morning. I already took care of it.
Oh.
So I don't know. Maybe it was just the
this was take
Celsius
2.
drink or something I had, or it was who knows. I used gels for
Probably.
the first time in a while, but I didn't use a gel before the Code Brown, and I was fine. The fuel I used, I reacted fine. I'm used to them,
Yeah.
so I'm pumped. Couple
Yeah.
weeks.
Well, thank you for your honesty.
Yeah, the butt napkin was awesome. So guys, go out there and get yourself some butt
Yes.
napkins. Maybe we can partner with them one day. That would be a lot of fun. I got to reach out. They told me to email
I would
them.
love that. That would be fantastic.
They're the perfect brand to partner
Yeah,
with.
absolutely. Mhm.
Well, cool. Guys, and one last thing. If you are in town on Saturday the 9th, go check out Jen's fundraiser at the Backyard Brewery. I know you're not going, Erika, because you have a family birthday party to go to, but I don't know if I'll be there because I have kids to watch, but I'll try. Backyard Brewery, 5 o'clock. That's Jen's super cool. We just met her. She's going to be at the 20 mile with us the week after. Yeah. And don't forget, Erika, what did we tell them? Follow us where?
Yeah, you guys know where to follow us. You follow us on Instagram. You can join our Patreon page. You can find us on YouTube. We got all those awesome clips for you. Some full episodes coming. Yeah, Mr. Eric here has some work to do, and then we also have to do some tros for it. So it's coming.
We got some
we've got
fun
good stuff on the way.
interviews coming up for Boston Weeks 2. We have 4 amazing women in those first 2 weeks of April. Are going to be 2 episodes a week. It's going to be an epic Boston week, but not before the
Ooh.
epic March Madness. Let's go. Erika, take us home.
We have a busy few weeks coming up, man. We have a real busy few weeks coming up. I hope you guys stick around and listen and enjoy. You guys know we love you, and don't forget to stretch.
3, 2, 1, yeah!
Can I show you something real quick? Are we recording?
Hold on. Yes,
This
we
is
are
really funny.
recording.
I get snapped. Oh, do you want me
Yeah.
to 1, 2, 3 first, or 1, 2, 3?
4, 5, 6. Cool.
Okay, so I get Snapchats from Hype Man Dave every once in a while.
Yeah.
He sent me the best.
He
one
probably
yet.
still sends me Snapchats, but I just don't have Snapchat anymore.
Gotcha. Well, this is a classic one. I don't know if it's going to show up, but he sent me a dick pic. You ready for this? It's hot dogs.
Oh.
I opened it and I cracked up. I was like, I like your sense of humor, dude. That was wicked funny.
You had me like for a second, like, oh my
No, it just says dick pic though. Dick pic. It's an 8-pack of hot dogs.